of course, we don't hear anything. So you go in here and the horn doesn't work. You're going to check out what could be the problem. All right, we're going to check the horns. The horns are underneath here and there. You can see them down there. So if we look through here, there we have already a new horn in there. There's a new horn over here, right? And we are checking out the electric parts with the multimeter. And for that reason, we need to find the TIPM. That's the fuse box here in the car. It's right over here. You can open it by unlocking it there. And just open it like this. You can also unplug this thing here, like this, and then we can take a quick read and what's going on inside and how this works. So let me take a still image of this and then we can point out what we're looking for. Alright, so after we find this, the fuses, let me go over here. So the red one here, the red one over here, this one and this one, those two are the fuses for the horns. You do not have a visible relay on top here. The relay, let me show this to you. The relay is super small. So here we have an example of that relay. It's that small and it's soldered onto the PCB board inside the TIPM. Okay, so it's in here, down here, underneath here somewhere, on the TIPM board soldered, so you can't get to it. If that breaks, you need a completely whole TIPM, or you need to take the TIPM apart and resolder and replace that relay on the board, what is not for the faint of heart. For you to know, we do have battery plus up here, so this has full on battery power. And we have the ground connection over here on the side there. You can see here, there's the ground and here's the power. So those two here give you power if you use a multimeter to test. And then we have those two fuses here. There is a fuse puller here. This is the fuse puller device. You can go on here, clip it over the fuse like this, and then you just pull up there, and then you have the fuse in your hand and you can check the fuse if it's okay or not. And if you do this with two of them, this one too. So there is a fuse for the right horn and a fuse for the left horn. And since we have both of them removed, if we start using the horn here, we don't hear anything. So let's check out the power to the horns. We have the multimeter connected to the ground here, and then I have the other end and I touch here. Okay, and then I look at my multimeter and I see I have 12.65 volts. So this is the power that is applied to the whole TIPM. So it has power right now. That means the horn can work. So here's a very close look. We see that there is no interrupt in the trace in here. Right, this is a 10 amp fuse. Let's take a look at the other one. There. That's a beautiful fuse. Did not blow or anything. 10 amp. And it's great. So those fuses have connectors on the outside, here on the left and right. So that's where you can go with your probe, to probe if you have power on both sides. Okay, also an option is the wires that go from here, from underneath the fuse box, all the way around to the horns. There's wires here. Over there, each horn is connected to wires. If those wires have either no ground or no power when you push the horn, then you also know you have a problem with the wiring from here to there. If the horns are good. If the horns are as rotten as I showed you earlier here. So we have a quick look how those horns look like. You see that they are pretty corroded. If you look at those connectors here, I don't know how close I can get with this camera, but this is so corroded. There is a really bad connection, and then the plugs themselves are very corroded. And because of so much corrosion, you do have trouble getting the electricity into the horn. So this is also not easily fixable because you can't really get in there. This is so corroded that you can't use any screws or anything to fix this. So in this case, if this doesn't work anymore, you just need to buy new ones. A new set here, right? TIPM is the brand they used in there at the time. Now you have to check the wires from the horns to the fuse box if they are okay, and if not, then you may have to replace them. Also, what you hear when the horn is disconnected up front here, and you use the steering wheel, you click on there, it will click inside. You can hear a relay clicking in the fuse box. So in the fuse box, you're going to hear clicking when you push the horn button. And then you know that the relay is at least mechanically moving, but you don't know if there is power going through or not, if it's burned up or not.